are there on the Zoom link. So I feel now we will start it. So, so on behalf of Chembur Trombe Education Societies, NG Acharya and DK Marathi College of Arts, Science and Commerce, I welcome all those who are attending this workshop. Particularly, I welcome the guest speaker, Dr. Piyush Pahade, who is the founder member of IQAC Cluster India. As far as Dr. Piyush Pahade is concerned, I did not know that is he himself is a brand name, and that's why once I put his name, I don't have to think about the participation. Rather, I have to think how to cope up with the participation. I remember here the Bollywood dialogue, "Bas naam hi kafi hai." So our that is, he will be introduced formally later on. But I'm really thankful to all those who are joining from, that is the colleges, not only from the state of Maharashtra, but as I could know, also for that is Pan India. There are some participants from Agra, from Delhi also. So I welcome all of you. And without taking much of time, I would like to add here that is after 2017-18, NAAC has revised its format for AQR and also for the SSR. And they are also going on in changing, making changes in their format. And all of us, that is the IQAC coordinators, the NAAC committee in charges, the principal, the teachers, the students, the parents, the aluminum, all of us have to gear up to adjust with these changes. And that's why today we are here to know the recent, that is the advances made by the NAAC and how to cope up with that and still get or that is enhance our grade in NAAC. And for that, there cannot be any other person than Dr. Piyush Pahade to guide us. I welcome all, and also I would like to thank our IQAC coordinator, Ashwini Ranade madam, and her committee members, her team members, because of whom this webinar has been possible. I'm sure that is towards the end of this webinar, when that is after and thank you so much. Yeah, over to you, Ashwini madam.
Thank you, Principal Madam. On behalf of Chembur Trombe Education Societies, NG Acharya and DK Marathi College IQAC, I welcome all the participants of today's webinar. And a warm welcome to our today's speaker, Mr. Piyush Pahade sir. As Madam rightly said, he doesn't need a special introduction. I welcome you, sir. IQAC Cluster India has been really doing a wonderful job in helping colleges to face NAAC accreditation process as well as to enhance the quality of their work. Our college has completed 3 cycles of NAAC. Our third accreditation was done in December 2016. We received A grade with 3.19 CGPA, and soon we'll be facing the 4th cycle. I mean, we are due for the 4th cycle in another 6 or 7 months span. Today's webinar is arranged to seek guidance regarding that. And as Piyush sir himself suggested the title, Gearing Up for Mandatory NAAC Overs. So in cricket, the mandatory overs are made to do the targeted performance. So we also now really need to go for a targeted performance in our 4th cycle, and hence the organization of today's webinar. I welcome all the participants from different colleges. It's very nice to see so many people gathered together to listen to and to seek guidance from Piyush sir. May I request our NAAC Documentation Committee in charge, Captain Dr. Sunil Kadam sir, to formally introduce Mr. Piyush Pahade, who is today's speaker. Over to Kadam sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
A little loud, sir. थोड़ा मोठ्यांदा बोला ना. Little louder.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Today's speaker, Professor Piyush Pahade sir, CTS office bearers, uh, Principal Dr. Vidya Gauri Lele madam, all principal from other colleges we have joined for this webinar, all vice principals of our college, head of various departments, faculties of this college, and dear participant from other college IQAC in charges and colleagues. Uh, Good evening to one and all. This is Captain Dr. Sunil Bapukadam. Takes immense pleasure, pride, and honor in inviting uh, a multi-dimensional, multitasking, and multi-talented personality, Professor Piyush Manohar Pahade. All above adjective which I have used for sir, he deserve it and it suits him. You will agree with this by listening him, his introduction as well as listening him. At present, sir is working as a head of the department of zoology in H.V. Desai College, Pune, from last 30 years. He has published 10 research papers in international journal and presented several papers in various national and international conferences. Sir has chaired session in a national conferences in zoology and for quality related various conferences. He has authored 8 books in the subject of biology, zoology, and biochemistry. Sir's other work in brief, the list is very quite long, but we have selected few of them. He is a founder member of IQAC Cluster India. This is a movement to bring quality in colleges of India by providing every possible assistance for a NAAC accreditation and quality assessment in the academic. This activity you have initiated by planting a sampling, sir. Now it's become a tree. Time will witness it will become a huge tree, sir. Here I would like to say that sir deserves his surname, Pahade, means a mountain. In other words, huge. Because of his contribution in the field of NAAC, IQAC, Cluster India is of that level and a caliber. Sir's association with industry, he is associated with Wikifield field industry, Malhotra Wikifield as an academic expert, White Code Software Solution as an academic expert. He's worked as a soft skill trainer, invited trainer for HRDC Pune, and for corporate training, more than 2,000 workshops conducted on the topic of 7 habits of high effective uh, people for the big cross section of society with training duration more than 8 hours, clock hours, and 1 lakh plus participant in the past 10 years. Sir was resource person to faculty development program for teachers and non-teaching community. He was invited as a trainer for trainees, teachers training, workshop and lecture for duration more than 2,000 clock hours and 30,000 plus academic faculties. Currently, he is conducting 3 courses, one on a documentation, second on a policy procedure writing, and a third outcome-based education. His contribution towards academics are members. He is a member of BOS Zoology, Sophia Women's College, Mumbai, member of syllabus committee Zoology, Savitribai Phule University, Mumbai, Pune, uh, innovations, sketching, and labeling skill in zoology workshop is more than 100 colleges are over the Maharashtra. Developed various interactive modules in zoology for effective trainings. His work in form of standardization of process in academics by helping organization in documentation process, policy writing, academic audits, website standardization, uh, institutional SOC, etc. His institutional association as permanent IQAC member for St. Teresa Institute of Education, Santa Cruz, Mumbai, Modern Law College, Pune, MIT Engineering College, Pune. Sir has associated with 1,500 plus colleges under Pan India for quality related issues at institutional level. He has designed and developed uh, and conducted 2 short-term courses at national level on institutional quality for directors and principals, IQAC chairpersons and quality personals, effective documentation for academicians, for teachers, faculty, and quality administrations. 2 batches have been completed. One of the participant and beneficiary of that course is speaking to you. Friends, sir is not only an academician, but also a good author, a trainer, a good speaker, because he is a good analyst, critical thinker, good listener, and soft-spoken person. Beyond this, he is a good human being. Sir, I welcome you and thank you for having association with our college. Thank you. Over to Ashwini ma'am.
Thank you, Kadam sir. It was really great to listen to the introduction of Pahade sir, and I really appreciate the last sentence said by Kadam sir, a very good human being. Other than all the qualities, very good human being. I really appreciate that. Now, may I request Pahade sir to start the session?
Yes, thank you very much, Kadam ji. जरा ज़्यादा हो गया है ये, पर कोई
Sir,
बात
अजिबात
नहीं.
ज़्यादा नहीं है. No, no.
It's a fact, sir. I know it. It's a fact.
Now let us start for the day. Some people from Delhi are trying to join you. Ashwini ma'am, I have given your number to them, so they are not able to join. So, well, I'll put up my presentation first. I hope all of you are able
Sorry to
to.
intervene, sir. Sir,
Yes,
sorry.
yes.
आपला
Yes.
आवाज सर ऐकू येत नाही, खूप कमी ऐकू येतोय.
बरं, ठीक आहे. Now can you hear me?
Volume
Can you hear me now?
little louder, sir, if possible.
Okay. Let me try. Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, fine. Not an issue. Let us look into
त्या माईकला थोडा आणखी तोंडाजवळ आणा सर.
Hello, काय म्हणाला? Now can you hear me well?
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Better
Yes,
than
sir.
earlier.
Yes, we
Better
can
than
hear
earlier.
you.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Let's. Just
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Yeah, please. The title is Gearing Up for Mandatory NAAC Overs. This title has come up primarily because the 4 years or 5 years are over. Now, whatever has been done is to be given to NAAC. So the work is over. It is not that now what to do in criteria 1, what to do in criteria 2, what to do in criteria 7. ये बात नहीं है. I'm not talking about that now, because the work is done. Now it is a matter of submitting the work. And if the work is to be now submitted, then in that case, from planning to submit, what is it that you need to do? It would mean that you have the data. It would mean that you have done your work. It would mean that now everything is done. It is like you have prepared the food. It is a matter of serving to the guests who are going to come. Naturally, that time you cannot say कि वो प्याज खत्म हो गया है, वो लाना पड़ेगा, ये करना पड़ेगा. आज कौन सा मेन्यू बनाओ, ये बात है ही नहीं. मेन्यू बन गया, no, plan बन गया. Now how to serve, that is the big part that is there in the picture. So today's session is not oriented on criteria 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is primarily on the material is ready. And now I have to see to it that what all things need to be done, those small things, so that I am able to present myself, that is, the college is able to present itself in a much better way and get the best that it can do. You cannot win a match with inefficient and incompetent tools. And therefore, we need to understand, we need to see to it that the tools that we are going to use, they are quite sharp. Keep in mind, no one is perfect. And that is why understanding is very important. And therefore, the first aspect is understand the process of NAAC very well as a team. Me saying, understand the process of NAAC very well, this is understood. But understand the process of NAAC very well as a team. As a team means from principal to the peon, P to P. Everybody must know everything. NAAC has created some wonderful videos on the process. See to it that those videos are played. Those PowerPoint presentations are shown. Everybody knows every step. How to approach NAAC, how to fill up the IIQA, what is IIQA, what is needed for IIQA, what is SSR, what is SSR and DVV, what is PTV. I am saying this because we hear it, but we don't know. And therefore, every step that needs to be done now needs to be done with a team. I am saying this with a big responsibility, because a team is always made for NAAC. Those 8-10 people sit in a room, they work. Everybody else looks at that closed door and says, "Andar kaam chalu hai." और क्या काम चालू है किसी को मालूम नहीं है. This does not make a sense. If you want, see, every suggestion that comes, that must be incorporated properly. And even an attendant can give some great suggestion. It is the time that to see to it that everything that you have done is fitted into the right place. Believe me, I am very honest. Even an average, so-called average college can get an A grade. We do so many things. Because we don't document it, we lose. If you can document it, it's great. If you can bottle it properly, you become a great college. What do the best of the organizations do? They document everything. They keep on documenting things. जो याद आ गया वो उसको लिख दिया. Whatever small thing you remember, you just write it down. If you have done it and if you have written it down, then in that case, you can definitely have the document. It is quite possible that some things are not registered. In the present college, that is in Marathe college, this is not possible because you have Kadamji over there. So every document that is prepared, that would be stored. But in other colleges also, if you have done something, even if you haven't recorded it as yet, you can create a document. I am not telling you create a fake document. I am saying that if you have it, see to it that it is shown to the world. And therefore, it is the teamwork that is going to count out. This is the first rule of NAAC. You are to go as a coordinated team. You are to go as one individual. Everyone is one. You are representing the colleges. Therefore, it is not your ego. It is not the responsibility of those few who are in IQAC. It is not the responsibility of the principal. It is the responsibility of we all. If college gets a good grade, it is not that IQAC coordinator has done great. It is not that the principal has done great. It is everyone who has contributed. If the college gets a bad grade, it is not the IQAC coordinator who should be hanged. It is not the principal who should be shot down. It is we all who are responsible for that particular grade. And therefore, the first rule to go to NAAC is you need to be a team. If you are at the peak of fighting with each other, don't go to NAAC. Or make a week where you are going to fight with each other. सब जो कुछ बड़ा से निकाल डाल. When you are to go for NAAC, you need to be as one team. This is one part. Second part of the same point happens to be, we have some 7 or 8 points only that I have taken. Know the process very well. You need to know that process very, very well. And everyone needs to know that process. In other words, the seriousness of the purpose is understood. Even the attendant knows what is going on. If the student knows what is going on. If the teacher knows what is going on. If the parent knows what is going on. Then everybody talks the same thing, and that leads us to the bigger goal. This is one very important aspect that we need to understand. So the first part is that you need to know what that process is. And second part is that you need to know that everybody is going to go together. And then what is IIQA? What information is needed over there? Share with everyone. See to it that if that website needs to be okay, we will look into it later on. Whatever is needed is first looked into. And everybody knows the process. So IIQA, then comes SSR. You have submitted the SSR. In the SSR, there is a part called DVV. Then as soon as you submit the SSR, that is actually the DVV part along with the SSR. The DVV assessment begins and the student satisfaction survey begins. And then we go to the next part called as PTV. Once this is done, and then we go for the outcomes. What all things are going to come in between IIQA, in between SSR, or in between SSS and DVV? What comes in between PTV? And what is there after PTV? Everything needs to be understood very carefully. And everyone. This is point number one that I wish to make a mention of. Second aspect is read the criterion and metrics very carefully. In the first case, I made the mention of the entire process. Know the process very well. Now we have completed the process. Now come to the metrics and criteria. There are 7 criteria. There happen to be a large number of metrics. There happen to be almost 140 such questions. Read the criteria and the metrics very carefully before filling up the data. Everyone should have the manual with them. At least that criteria which you are dealing with. The team must, if there are 10 people who are going to take care of, let us say, criteria 1, 10 should read it. They should discuss it, what it is meaning. Then there are something called as standard operating procedures. Read them again and again. For that particular question, that is a metric as it is called, as what things are needed, usko list karo. What things we have, usko dekho. Read those SOPs again and again. Think of the logical proof that you can provide. SOPs के अलावा भी हमको proofs देने होते हैं. Think of those very logical proofs that are needed over there. Make a list of them. It is quite possible that you may not have prepared some of those proofs, though the activity has taken place. Prepare them in that case. Second part is that after you have read that question, ask questions to the team. What is it the question that can come in over here? What query can come in? So get prepared for yourself कि इसमें सवाल क्या आ सकते हैं उस आने वाले सवाल को पहले उसका जवाब बना के रखो. If it can be a proof, post it. There should not be a query coming from NAAC. They will come, but जितनी कम होगी उतना अच्छा. So your team working, most of us think that कि वो material आया वो वहां पे डाल दिया बस काम खत्म हो गया. काम खत्म नहीं हो गया, काम शुरू हो गया. Very often when AQR is being written down, I find in the colleges, they ask the material comes, they put the material, the AQR is ready, there it is sent. But whether it is right or wrong, whether that material needs any kind of proofs, whether anything else can be added to it, ये सोचते ही नहीं है. इसके लिए हमारे जो AQR बनते हैं वो खराब बनते हैं. SSR के लिए भी हमारा यही लॉजिक रहा तो वो बहुत खराब बनेंगे और कुछ नहीं होगा. So see to it that the material that you prepare, the material that you get is processed very carefully. It is put into that frame very properly where it is needed, and that can come in only if you have the right logical proofs. And after those proofs have been put up, think what questions can come on that. Now something very important which I need to mention out over here, and which I have not mentioned in the points anywhere else. How is the data verified? You are going to give the data. How is it going to be verified? It is going to be verified with your data only. मतलब क्या? You have given the data. You have filled up some data to NIRF. You have given some data for what do you say, IQAC. You have given data to university. Your data is going to be checked with you only. It means that अगर वहां पे correct data भेजा है तो then here also it is going to be the same. In NIRF you make a mention saying that we have 2022 students. In IQAC, you make a mention saying that you have 22,200, let us say 2,200 students in NIR, 2,220 in 2,210 in IQAC, and in NAAC you are making a mention of 2,208. Then there is a query that is going to arise. Such क्या है? So keep only one reference and follow that reference very carefully. If your data is going to have problems, you are going to face a problem. And therefore understand the process very carefully. Understand the question very carefully. Discuss about the same question again and again. Think what the SOP is saying. Think what the possible proof can be. Think that what the DVV, what query can come in DVV. And whether this is a qualitative question or a quantitative question. Think, and keep on talking. When we talk, it is the collective intelligence that comes out. Keep in mind, we are now no longer teachers. We are knowledge workers. The world has changed, and the concept of teaching is now to knowledge working. So therefore, if we are knowledge workers, workers will cooperate with each other. They will see to it that the right answer goes to NAAC, which we need to send. This is the second aspect that I wanted to make a mention of. The data that we are going to send, whether what is the quality of the data. You asked me the material, I gave you the material. You say some material mere paas hai. And when you start filling up, you find that in the report, for that particular activity, there were 213 students. And then the report says that there are 213 students. The photograph shows only 5 students. And the student list shows 138 students. 213, 5, 138. Is your data correct? No, it is not correct. The list shows 113 students. The report shows 113 students. The photograph shows many students. The data quality is matching out. Any data quality, the quality of data is going to matter. And therefore, purity of the data plays a very important role. Before you upload the data must be checked. Very often in IQAC, what I find is that I have brought this material, I have submitted the material, IQAC has taken the material, and the story is over. IQAC says the material is with us. We will look at it later on. Dekhte hi nahi hai hum baad mein. And then when the report is prepared, and then when we look at the report and we write down according to the report, then we start landing into problems. So therefore, data quality needs to be checked with accuracy. Number one. Data quality needs to be checked with relevance. Number two. Data quality should be checked with its completeness. This is very important. Whether the data is complete. 4 proofs मांगे या 5 proofs मांगे 2 ही दे दिए है तो completeness नहीं आया. Data will come with clarity. What you are saying and what is there should match. And data is going to be should be accessible, easily available. It is in his locker. वो 2 दिन छुट्टी पर है, वो नहीं आने वाले हैं. तो क्या आप रिपोर्ट राइटिंग बंद कर दोगे? Accessibility plays a very important role, and therefore accuracy, completeness, relevance, clarity, accessibility, and on-time data, timelines decide the quality of the data. If you want a good result, your data should be a quality data. You need to check that data again and again to see to it that before submission ये बराबर match हो रहा है क्या. Make it a habit. Keep 3-4 teachers कि आज आपने बैठ के इन 10 documents में से कम 5 गलतियां निकालनी है. दादर करो. Find 10 faults in that particular document. Once you start finding out those faults, automatically the fault repairing mechanism comes into picture. And all those questions that are possibly going to hit you, they have already come over there. So the data is now clean. I wish to give you one example which is not directly related over here. Cluster has a lot of data of teachers. When the webinars were going on, we had taken that data. Once we sat to look into the data, and I made a mention to my white coat team. Okay, let me check that data. And then while checking the data with the set parameters, we understood that out of the, let us say something like 14,000 or 15,000 addresses that we had got, only 10,000 addresses were okay. The rest of them were not up to the mark. We had to throw away that data. If we want to use that data, if we want to send mails to people, I must have a right mail ID. I must have a mail ID which is going to be valid. I must have the right name of the person. If it is not there, it is not going to make sense. So therefore, data quality plays a very, very important role. It is perhaps one of the most important things which we don't talk of. We think जो हमारे टीचर्स ने दिया है वो बराबर है, उन्होंने काम किया, उन्होंने दिया है. But there are teachers that they have given the data because you have asked for it. There are teachers who have prepared that data last minute. Activity तो ली थी, पर नंबर याद नहीं था स्टूडेंट्स का, डाल दिया 122. लिस्ट लगाते वक्त उसमें 100 ही लोग थे, बाद में देता हूं कहते, फोटोज बराबर आए ही नहीं है. तो आपके डेटा की क्वालिटी खराब हो जाएगी, और अगर डेटा की क्वालिटी खराब होगी तो आपका रिजल्ट अच्छा नहीं आ सकता. So keep that in mind. So therefore data quality makes a very, very important aspect. The fourth aspect that counts the most happens to be classify the metrics into administrative metrics and teacher-oriented metrics. Even before you go for analysis, even before you go for NAAC, look at all those 140 metrics. Classify those metrics into whether it goes with the administration or it goes with the teacher. If those questions that go to the teacher, उनको अलग निकाल दो. Those questions that go with the office, उनको अलग निकाल दो. Separate out the two first. Again, when you come to teachers, that data which goes to the sports teacher, उसको अलग करो. That data which goes to the office, to the library, उसको अलग करो. That data which goes to the art circle, उसको अलग करो. Separate out all those questions and give the questions selectively to those selective teachers. Now, why I am telling this? There is a general trend. The entire NAAC report is sent to everybody. इसमें आपका जो है वो दे दो. Then I will sit to write down and I will see if this does not apply to me, not 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 to me. हाँ, यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा है. At the end of 25 or 30 pages, I am able to write down one page. It frustrates me, and then I don't start filling up the data only. कुछ नहीं है मेरा. I have not done anything. Hell with you. And then the IQAC coordinator and IQAC team says, लोग देते ही नहीं है. People don't give the data. How will they give the data that does not relate to them? So first sort it out. What needs to go to the accounts will go to the account. What needs to go to the office will go to the office. What needs to go to the teachers will go to the teachers. What needs to go to the Kalamandal, that will go to the Kalamandal. What needs to go to some particular committees will go to the particular committees. Sort out that data very well. Sort out what is needed. Sort out those metrics very well. See to whom they are accountable, and then accordingly distribute those metrics. As a result of which, each one has to do lesser work. Because the work is lesser, the data can come very quickly. And therefore, classify the metrics into administrative metrics and teacher-oriented metrics. This is the most important point that you are able to do. If you don't do that, then in that case, it's going to cost us very much. It will keep in mind, if the documentation is not done properly, each year we lose 20% data. यानी 5 साल में हम 20% पूरा का पूरा 5 साल के डेटा का 20%, यानी हर साल का 20% अगर काउंट करेंगे तो एक्चुअली बहुत बड़ा डेटा हमसे लॉस हो गया है. And with loss of every 20% of data, we are going one grade down. And therefore, classifying the data plays a very important role. Sending the metrics to those people who are accountable for it is very, very important. So that our work becomes easy. Our work can become easy only if we make the work of our teachers and administrative staff easy. If we tell them that we want it in this particular format, things will be easy for you. And therefore, it makes a big impact. I'll give you one example over here. Kindly don't mistake me. This is criteria 1.1.1. Effective curriculum delivery through planned and documented process. Effective. It means that you are working very effectively. Curriculum delivery, it would mean that teaching. It would mean that the syllabus. Delivery would mean how you are delivering curriculum. And how is it expected? Planned and documented process. What does that mean? That means that they are asking for ये जो करिकुलम यूनिवर्सिटी ने बनाया हुआ है या कॉलेज ने बनाया है, how is it planned and then how it is documented. दो parts है. So don't write down teaching methods over here. It does not make any sense. Curriculum delivery, effective planning and documentation. The planning of the curriculum and documentation of the curriculum. प्लानिंग में क्या आएगा? एकेडमिक कैलेंडर आएगा. प्लानिंग में क्या आएगा? टाइम टेबल आएगा. प्लानिंग में क्या आएगा? टीचिंग प्लान आएगा. डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में क्या आएगा? मीटिंग आएगी. मीटिंग ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट. डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में क्या आ जाएगा? न्यू टीचर हैज बीन अपॉइंटेड. डॉक्यूमेंटेशन में क्या आएगा? द टीचर्स डायरी विल कम इनटू पिक्चर. It would mean that whatever you have planned, how have you implemented? No, not implemented. How have you documented? So what you have planned between planning and documentation is implementation. They are not asking you the implementation. They are asking you planning, और planning होने के बाद उसका documentation कैसे बनाया गया. So see to it that your planning and documentation goes hand in hand. Don't write down the style of implementation. We use so many teaching methods over here. We invite guest lecturers. We see to it that students come to us. Not expected. Why are you writing, Baba? They have asked for planning. They have asked for documentation. Give the planning, give the documentation. Be precise. We'll take one more example. Academic flexibility. This question actually goes to the administration. Average percentage of students enrolled in certificate or add-on programs against the total number of students during the last 5 years. कौन से कोर्सेज से ये ऑफिस को मालूम होना चाहिए. इसका प्रूफ क्या आएगा ये हमको मालूम होना चाहिए. Definitely the certificate course that you have designed. Number 2, the sanction that you need. Number 3, the CDC committee that has accepted the certificate program. Number 4, the student list. Number 5, the syllabus. Number 6, the teachers who are going to teach. Number 7, the attendance. Number 8, you have enrolled a student for a certificate program. Then in that case, have you taken his consent? He is participating in this particular certificate program. These letters will be needed over here. And if it is a certificate program, it is accepted by the university. You know the difference between program and a course. Program is the big part and the course is a part of the program. So what we teach in the classroom is the course, and many such courses will make a program. So see to it that the necessary data is provided. This necessary data to a very great extent is to come from the office. So see to it that office is already intimated. ये data हमको लगने वाला है at the end of the year, so that they keep it ready. This is an example that I have tried to give you. Now you are actually going for NAAC. So make a chart of how to collect the data, how to process the data, how to store the data, criteria wise and metric wise. In other words, you have to keep the data to come, the data that has come, the data, whether the data that has come is up to the mark, whether the data is prepared properly, then whether the data is prepared as a complete document, whether that document has been stamped and by the institution and signed by the head of the institution. Then after signing, whether it has been, the file has been scanned, and whether the data is uploaded on the website. Itna kaam kiya. If we do all this, then and then we will be able to work out the data in a better way. Otherwise, there will be a huge chaos. In other words, planning is more implemented, is more important. If you have planned very effectively, your implementation is going to be error-free. If you have planned very well and everybody knows what the plan is, there is a better chance that your work will be easy. If the planning is bad, then in that case, implementation automatically becomes bad. And therefore, you need to first plan on the paper. There is one more thing that I want to tell you over here. For 1.1.1, for example, here that we were talking, academic calendar. Now there is a zoology department, there is a botany department, there is a geography department. There is also a college that you are able to see. The college will prepare its own academic calendar. There are 5 levels of an academic calendar. Academic calendar is first made by the university. The university gives dates and it gives one more date, that is holidays. This is the first level of academic calendar. The academic calendar then comes to the college. The academic calendar, the next level of academic calendar is prepared by the principal, by the CEO of examinations and the IQAC coordinator, maybe by the vice principals along with it. What will they do to that academic calendar? They will add some more things to the academic calendar. When is the internal examination going to be there? That is prepared that is put in the academic calendar. Then, when are the events going to be taken? When are the activities going to be taken? That is going to be mentioned in the academic calendar. इतना ही calendar, ये जो calendar है, ये website पे जाएगा. But this is the second level of calendar. The second level of calendar will always go on the website. But there are 3 more levels of calendar. The third level will go to the faculty, commerce faculty, arts faculty, science faculty, BBA faculty, etc., etc., etc. They will look at the calendar that has been provided by the college. They will put their own dates without changing the dates at level 2. That makes up the third level. For example, science faculty has decided to conduct science for everyone as one of the national level programs. All the departments of science are going to participate in that 4-day program. So this is the next level of calendar that you are able to see. Level 4 comes at the departments. Science faculty has decided a program, but what is the program of zoology department? That department will also be having its own program. They will be put at 4th level. And the 5th level is looking at this calendar, the teacher prepares his own teaching plan. That is level 5.
Okay.
We very often find the teacher prepares a teaching plan and the college prepares an academic calendar, and nobody knows what was done. And then the teacher says, "Arey, I had planned this and there is no lecture today. I did not know it because the calendar did not reach him." So there is a close association between the academic calendar and the teaching plan. Those days when there is no teaching, on those days, no teaching should take place. Academic calendar has made a mention that on these days, exams are going to take place. And the teacher says, I will be taking a lecture. That will not be possible. At second level, when the college makes a mention saying that internal examinations are in, let us say, end of August, that would mean that before up to the third week of August, whatever syllabus is going to be taught is going to be there for the internal examinations. It would mean that it would be easier for the teacher to plan his or her own teaching plan. The teacher will be able to understand how many days he has. Accordingly, planning can be done. And therefore, if that planning can be done from the organization to the teacher with respect to the curriculum, then it becomes an effective curriculum delivery. And therefore, this planning counts. So what is asked is very important. And how an individual, an organization is going to work for it also counts. These were the two examples that I have made a mention of. Let us look at the next small aspect that I wanted to make a mention of. Keep a regular follow-up and a day-to-day meeting with the respective teams. It would mean that you first prepare small teams when you are writing down the SSR. There could be a team for collection of the data. There can be a team for sorting out of the data. There can be a team for data collection. There can be a team for metric-wise collection. There could be a team for collecting the data from the administration. There could be somebody who will be arranging it and keeping it at right place. There will be somebody to see to it that the data is complete, which is to be signed by the principal and to be stamped so that it becomes an authentic document. There will be somebody who's going to take the photograph of it and it's a scan of it and is going to put it at the right place where it needs to be. All these are very important. So for which we need teams, and these teams need to work in proper coordination. And coordination can come in only if we have all the information with all of us. And therefore you are able to see every evening before the team leaves, they need to sit together. They have to say, आज इतना काम हो गया, ये काम हो गया, ये काम हो गया. और कल क्या होने वाला है, ये second part में आ जाता है. What is it that you are going to do tomorrow? For which what planning is to be done for tomorrow? What is it that I should tell the teachers to see to it that tomorrow get this data? So planning plays a very, very important role in this particular aspect. Then something very, very important. A good, I'm very specific, a good, accessible, clutter-free website counts. It would mean that the website is beautiful, the colors are attractive, the content is clean, error-free, genuine. The website should be accessible through mobile also. And the data needs to be very, very credible. अगर वो credible data नहीं होगा, so then it will create a bad website. And a good website is a must for every organization. A website should be functional. Functional का मतलब continuously updated. A website should have a good archives so that whatever is not wanted is then put into picture, is removed. Very recently, I saw a website of one of the most biggest colleges in Mumbai. Some event that had taken place in last September was still there in the notice section. It is not needed. It is now May. फिर भी आप सितंबर का डेटा रखोगे और वो सामने रखोगे तो व्हाट विल द पीपल से, दे डोंट अपडेट देयर वेबसाइट. ये आलसी लोग दिखते हैं और ये आलसी तो हमारे बच्चे इनके पास नहीं डालेंगे. So good website needs to be prepared, and a good website should be a dynamic website. Continuous updation should be possible, and it should have a good clarity, credibility. Now, what not to use? This is a very important aspect that I wanted to make a mention of. Don't use any drive at any point of time to share the data with NAAC. When the time comes that I want to share my data with NAAC, you will not be using drive, you will be using a website only. Because NAAC has very strong firewalls, and firewalls do not work with the drives, and therefore that data goes into hiding. तो आपको कुछ advantage होता नहीं, कुछ दिखता ही नहीं उनको, and therefore don't put anything on the drive. You may say so that we have Google Suite. हमने खरीदा है Google Suite, हमारे कॉलेज का खुद का है, उसके साथ हमको ड्राइव मिल गई है. एक्सेलेंट. ड्राइव ऑथेंटिक है. एक्सेलेंट. But you cannot store the data on the drive. It must be stored on the website, and therefore website needs to be dynamic, and therefore website is going to have more than 200 pages. हाँ, आप एक काम कर सकते हो, ये डॉक्यूमेंट बन जाने के बाद में आप उसका पीडीएफ बना के रख दे सकते हो, which you need to do, so that it can be amalgamated with PDF, so that the weight reduces. The website becomes very handy, but nothing of this is to be used. You are able to see a Google Drive, you are able to see a Dropbox, you are able to see a pen drive, not to be used anywhere. Keep this in mind. We come to the 8th point, be in touch with the stakeholders. I have given a ready-made picture over here, पर हमारे कोई investors वगैरह नहीं होते, हमारे regulators तो होते हैं, customers नहीं, हमारे students होते हैं. I am saying this primarily because student is your stakeholder, and this student is going to be very important at the time of student satisfaction survey. When you are going to when that conduct survey is going to be conducted, something very interesting that I wish to make a mention over here. We prepare for everything, we don't prepare for the survey. बाकी 5 सालों के लिए you have all the documents of all the 5 years, but survey is going to be done that very minute. We haven't prepared for the survey, and the survey is of 60 marks. It's a huge weightage. At one point of time, you will find that we have to battle for 1 mark, and here you have 60 marks. That's a lot of marks. What to do over here? You have to be in good touch with your students. Talk to the students. Give responsibility to the students. Give them work. Interact with them. Let them make their own good opinion about you. You, I mean to say, your organization. I'd like to share one small story. In 2012, when NAAC had come, that time there were no such mobiles where through mobile photographs can be taken. Mobiles were there, but photographs were not possible. I had a hand-picked team of 40 volunteers. I did not even once tell them that, you know, NAAC के सामने जाओगे तो you have to behave in this way, in that way, in that way. But in those 3 months, what I could do is I could generate out some confidence among those people. And when NAAC peer team visit was to come at that time, I said, you can go and talk to NAAC, not an issue. They are very intelligent people, you should go and talk to them. So these teams started meeting them periodically. Day 1 kuch mile, day 2 kuch mile, day 3 kuch mile. And the NAAC peer team was actually very interested to know more about the students. All that I had told is, please see to it that you don't say anything bad about your organization. It's a good organization. And they believed me. But there was a comment in the NAAC report that the students here are free to interact. They can talk to anybody. And this is a strong point of the organization. If you have your stakeholders with you, your world is a very rich world. So see to it, and you don't need to give money to the stakeholder. You don't need to take care of their needs. You only have to be good with them. So be in touch with your stakeholders because they are the ones who are going to give you a lot of marks. And to end up, as I had said, it is almost 5:30 now. I had told madam that we will be stopping at 5:30. Keep a goal that you have collectively in your mind. This is where we had started with. And achievement is the key. See to it that you have achieved it. And this is how you can achieve it. I was very specific today because I was not to talk about the criteria, the details of the criteria. I was to talk about the overall process and how you can achieve it. So these were some areas that I felt I should share with you. These are the areas where most of the times organizations lack, and therefore they end up with a grade which they don't deserve. So these few points that I wanted to make a mention, I have made a mention. Now the topic is open for discussion. I will be stopping my presentation over here and we can talk.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for the presentation. Now we will begin with the question answer session. May I request Preeti Palkar madam to start the question answer session, and the participants can type the question in the chat box. We will definitely take care of that. Please.
This particular presentation will reach you very soon, which you can share with people later.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Send it by evening.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, anybody is having the questions, they can type on the chat box. Or if they want to ask, they can just raise the hand so that I can make them a co-host. Anybody wants to ask the question? So few of the participants are on the on tube also. But right now no questions are there from that side.
There is
no,
a question.
I think there is a question, Preeti, by Madhuri Sahasrabuddhe madam.
Yeah.
There is one question. Will you please inform what all documents required in a criteria 3? In
criteria 3. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I will definitely help her. Just 1 minute. We actually have a documentation course, and this documentation in this one program, by the way, I'm answering that question, but I like to tell you something more. There is one small documentation session that we conduct. And in this documentation session, what documents can be collected from the teachers is what we do. And it's a workshop, and where we see to it that teachers actually fill up the data over there so that they understand how to fill up the data. Here I will try to show you what is that is needed by the teachers over here. Now, you can see the format over here. Name of the teacher, department, year. This is one part that comes in. Now, what is it that is asked in the research? One is the research projects. In the research projects, what is asked? Who is the principal investigator? What is the title of the project? What is the funding agency? And who and when, in which year was the fund given? What is the duration of that particular project? And what is the amount that has been received? These are the few areas that are expected over here. And then who, whether it is completed, whether it is ongoing, and whether it is sanctioned. So research project, the name of the project, and whether it is complete or ongoing, whether it is sanctioned or it is ongoing or it is completed. ये तीन बातें normally पूछी जाती है. इतनी बातें आपको research में लगती है. Then you are able to see if whether the person is a research guide. That is possible. If he is a research guide, then whom is he guiding? Name of the student, name of the research topic. That would go for each student. In a name of the research student, if I say, well, the name of the research student is Mr. Piyush Pade, then what is his research topic? Then who has funded him? Whether his research is completed or it is ongoing. In this way, you have to write down for each student. Then what if the teacher has presented the papers in conferences? Then what data is needed? Title of the paper, title of the proceeding or the conference. What was the title of the proceeding? What was the proceeding is the book that comes out. Or then what is the name of the conference? Whether it was a national conference or an international conference. What was the year of publication? What is the ISSN number or ISBN number that you are able to see? And which institute has conducted this conference? That is affiliating institute. And who is the publisher? This is the data that you need for conferences. Papers presented in conferences. When we come to awards, then we come to the third aspect called as awards. Which award has the teacher got? Name of the awardee, name of the award, name of the awarding agency, name of the year of the award, and incentives given by the organization. What is it that incentive that the organization has given? 25,000 रुपए दिए, 5,000 रुपए दिए, felicitation किया, whatever it is that would come in over there. The fifth aspect is what are the research papers, which is yet another important aspect that you are able to see. The title of the research paper, name of the author, name of the department into which he is working, name of the journal, year of publication, what is the ISBN number, whether it is indexed or not, and what is the impact factor. अब ये इंडेक्स है कि नहीं और इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर है कि नहीं, तो यूजीसी ने दो टाइप के जर्नल रखे हुए हैं यहाँ पे. एक जो है सेक्शन ए या पार्ट ए जो कहा है, विच इज यूजीसी सैंक्शनड, सिर्फ इट इज यूजीसी केयर लिस्टेड जर्नल होगा तो उतना ही रहेगा. और अगर इफ इट इज नॉट सो, इफ इट इज एन इंटरनेशनल जर्नल with a good impact factor and all, then it comes in the second part, which is there given on the UGC website very well. And then in that case, you will have to say it's an index journal. Then what is the name of the journal? What is the impact factor of that particular journal? And then you have to give the details of that particular journal. There is one more thing. If you have done all that, then in that case, whether your name has come in Web of Science or not, and you can see to it that whatever work that you have done, if you register your name for Web of Science, immediately you will also find which papers have been published in front of your name, So that also is to be seen over there. And what is its impact factor? Then the impact factor of the journal is understood when you go on the page of the journal. So download that certificate from there and keep it with you. That's how you can give your proof. This is what I wanted to make a mention of with respect to research papers. Then for research, if you have published books, give the details only. They need to be national and international only. Whether you have published a book or you have published a chapter or what have you done, whether you were the one who has edited these volumes or anything else of that type. Then whether you have any patents in your name. And there is one more thing that what you have done is with respect to industry research related linkages. Now under this industry research related linkages, what work you have done for your students, that also can be put up. That a guest from the industry was invited to give the lecture over there, or for that matter, your research work with the industry or some funding that has come from the industry, all that can be included over here. These are the documents that you need for research.
Yeah.
I hope I have tried to answer you briefly.
So the next question is from Vishal Gaikwad. If the number of students are less and we have performed the activities, does the small number of students affect the NAAC credit?
Yes, it does. NAAC is a game of number of times, number of activities, number of times. It would mean that you have conducted one activity. Let us say Swachhata Abhiyan. Swachhata Abhiyan has been conducted and 50 students out of 5,000 were present. ये जो 55,000 है वो आपका डिनोमिनेटर बन जाता है. So when you write down ये स्वच्छता अभियान हो गया ना एकदम कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. How many students are present? 50. 50 divided by 5,000. That is less than 1. That's around 1%, I think. 0 marks. If you are going to conduct, let us say 20 such Swachhata Abhiyans, then you get some marks with 50 students. So, number of activities, number of times the activity has been conducted, and how many participants were present for that activity, that counts out. More the number of students, more better is the activity. So number counts, definitely, not an issue. बिल्कुल ये तो क्राइटेरिया 1 में भी जो आप शॉर्ट टर्म कोर्सेस लेते हो 1.3 में भी वहां पर भी how many short term courses have you taken them and how many times have you taken them, how many students participate, the number counts. That's what I am making a mention. Yes.
Yes. Sir, Dr. Richa Singh wants to know what is PTV.
Pardon me? What
is PTV?
PTV. Which question is that?
Peer team visit is there.
Peer team visit. PTV is peer team visit. Okay. Peer team visit. That is a team comes to you to visit the organization, and after it has visited the organization, it checks your questions that you have written on, checks your metrics, which are the डिस्क्रिप्टिव मैट्रिक्स, जिसको हम क्वालिटेटिव मैट्रिक्स कहते हैं, वो वहां पे एक्चुअल साइट पे आके चेक करते हैं, उसको पीटीवी कहते हैं. दैट इज पीयर टीम विजिट. दीज पीयर्स आर normally one of them is a vice chancellor or a retired vice chancellor, and then there are 2 more people who are very senior and they are from the field into which you are working. For example, your college is a commerce college. So someone from commerce will be there who is extraordinarily doing well, or who has very high repute and credentials. So one of them happens to be a vice chancellor, other one happens to be a principal of some college, and the third one happens to be a subject expert from that particular college. And this subject expert normally knows everything about the organization. That is PTV.
The next question is from Ujjwala Gukhe. What documents required for advanced and slow learner?
Yes, very true. Good. Now, when the student comes into the organization, we may see his mark sheet. And we may say, oh, the student has got, let us say, 80% of marks. Who has given those marks? The board has given those marks. Now, whether he is really worth 80% or not, we don't know. I'll give you one example over here. When I graduated, when I passed my 12th standard that year, the result of the board was 35%. Today, the results of the board anywhere is never less than 96%. Should I say that all the students who come to the college are very intelligent students? No, it is not so. But something has changed. Now, if I count that 86% is the right percentage, so I take him as an intelligent student, it is quite possible at the end of the year, we will be in danger. So therefore, we need to check our students at the beginning of the year. Whatever percentage he has, decide in what way you want to conduct the examination of that student. I'm not saying you have to take a written examination. There could be a subject like English. The student is made to talk for 2 minutes. चलो भी सबके सामने एक बार बोल दो how you talk in English. Describe yourself in 2 minutes. And then you come to know, see, to describe about yourself. तो ये सबसे ज़्यादा information तो उसके पास ही उसके बारे में. From where he is born, how he is born, for what long, in which college he was, in which school he was, who are his parents, who are his brothers and sisters, etc., etc. He should be able to talk for 10 minutes. He is not able to talk for 2 minutes. His English may be bad. He may not be able to recollect. His memory may be poor. His content may be very poor. His language may be very bad. You are able to identify him whether he is a slow learner or the advanced learner. Separate him out. What does that mean? Different departments and different teachers will use different methods to identify the student. It is also quite possible that the same student is a slow learner in English but is an advanced learner in mathematics. Now, once you know that the person is a slow learner or an advanced learner, how do you treat that student? Is the second part that comes into picture. Now I know he's a slow learner. What should I do with that slow learner? I should give him some kind of training to see to it that he comes at par or comes close to the remaining classroom, so that teaching process becomes very comfortable. So here you conducting that examination, you conducting let us say oral, giving him marks, identifying him and making the list that he is a slow learner and an advanced learner based on this test is what a document you will need. How have you identified him is what you need to write down on your proper. I think so I have given the answer.
Yes, sir. So there is one question from a YouTube participant,
Okay.
Madhukar Gite. What is the important and the role of LMS, Learning Management System, in participation of NAAC report?
Okay. See, what has changed is the teaching methodology has changed. What has happened is, when we all were learning, at that time it was, what I teach is final. When I teach is final. And what I do is once and for all. If I am taking the lecture, आज ले लिया, उसके बाद कल वही material नहीं मिलेगा. If the student is not there, he has lost the material. But it is quite possible that the student is sick. Or it is quite possible that the student also has some other constraints. He deserves to get that material which you have explained to the students. You can give a note, but that note is not going to be exactly the way you have taken that wonderful lecture. So what can be done? On the LMS, which is a platform, you can keep your lecture. Now you have kept the lecture on that platform. The student has time at 12 o'clock at night. He will open the lecture and listen to it for 30 minutes or see it for 30 minutes and will understand whatever has been taught in the class. So the student is able to learn at his own space. He may take more time than other students. He may write down you have given a questionnaire, some questions, which he is supposed to write down the answers. He may look at the questions at any possible time whenever he wants to see it. He will write down the answers and see to it that they are submitted in time. Maybe after you have given the questions and you have corrected the answers, you may also give more description about those questions in the writing, which can be put on the LMS. So LMS is a platform on which the student can learn leisurely, आराम से काम कर सकते हैं. And therefore LMS plays a very important role because LMS supports or promotes student centricity. In this way, LMS becomes very important format. Yes. Have I answered the question? Next question. Yes.
Yeah. Sir, I see one more question in the chat box by Vishal Gaikwad. If research is done in other institute other than the current one, can this research paper will be can it be calculated or will it be explained in criteria for research papers?
Okay. One thing is, if you have done the research paper, let us say the research is done in Marathi college, but the name that is given is Mumbai University. The author has written down the name as Mumbai University. I have done this research in Mumbai University. The advantage will go to Mumbai University and not to the college, though you may be working over there. So when you are giving your address, see to it that the research paper is in the name of the individual and the individual's organization is the organization where he is currently working. That counts out. When can that be considered? The person has joined new. He was working with some other institution previously. This year or 2 years ago, he has joined and his research paper, when he was working in that institution, was when it was published. So that time, because he has joined new over here, perhaps that paper can be counted. I am not saying will be counted, because he is the individual now who is in this organization and is continuing with his research. But otherwise, the name of the institution which has been put up on the, not only that, for example, my organization name is Haribhai V. Desai Arts, Science and Commerce College. People write it down as H.V. Desai College. People may write down as Haribhai V. Desai College. Now the same organization has 3 names or 4 names. Pune Gujarati Kelwani Mandals Haribhai V Desai College of Arts, Science and Commerce. This is the right name. Second is Haribhai V Desai College of Arts, Science and Commerce. The third is H.V. Desai College. In your draft, when you are writing down, you will have to make a mention. Our organization is also known as H.V. Desai College. Then you can prove it that ये हमारे ही कॉलेज का आदमी है. This name and this name is one and the same. Otherwise, they don't accept it. Yes.
Sir, I see a question by Dr. Kanade.
Okay.
Should a college have IQAC coordinator and NAAC coordinator? Are the two different posts? What is it?
It is
What is the difference?
It is at the jurisdiction of the college. This is one thing. NAAC has not made a mention as NAAC coordinator. This is one. Let's be very honest. NAAC makes a mention, says that you have a steering committee. NAAC does not say there has to be a NAAC coordinator and there has to be an IQAC coordinator. NAAC is the primary responsibility of IQAC. In other words, something very simple to put up. For 5 years, IQAC takes care of NAAC. In the 5th year, IQAC writes down the report for NAAC. And then that event, जहाँ पे लोग आने वाले हैं, जहाँ पे जो कुछ सवाल पूछे जाएंगे, उसके लिए एक कोऑर्डिनेटर है, तो उसको हम NAAC कोऑर्डिनेटर कहते हैं. Officially, you may have two people, one as IQAC coordinator and other as NAAC coordinator. Or you can have just IQAC coordinator and a steering team. That's all. There is no compulsion that there has to be a NAAC coordinator. NAAC is an event. जैसे खाना बनाना एक प्रोसेस है, वो तो किचन का ही काम है, पर खाना सर्व करना भी एक पार्ट है. सेम थिंग. खाना बनता है आईक्यूएसी के दौरान और खाना सर्व किया जाता है, वो आपका NAAC हो गया प्रोसेस.
Thank you, sir. There is a question from Dr. Dhanya. Current year has been extended by NAAC till December 2021. So will the 5-year assessment period also gets extended?
Actually, the 5-year assessment period is not going to get extended. Let's be very honest. Now, why it is up to up to December? Let's try to understand this. In most universities, the examination last year took place in July, August. The results came out by November, December. And that current year had already started. Now, for example, 1920, the academic year 1920, it was extended up to December 31st. Now, in 2021, students have already been admitted. स्टूडेंट्स तो आ गए, फिर भी आ गया है ना इस साल. तो ये क्या बात है? तो उसकी वजह ये है, NAAC says that कि आपके रिजल्ट्स नहीं है, एग्जाम नहीं हुई है, रिजल्ट्स नहीं आए हैं, तो आप रिपोर्ट में क्या डालोगे? This is the most important part. Whether exams were conducted, no, exams were not conducted. Whether report was, so whether the results were out, no, exam नहीं हुए तो results कहाँ से? And therefore, what has happened over here is that they say so that no, okay, we will keep it up to 31st of December. By that time, the results have come out, and the results had come, so that your report can be completed. You are not going to write down that in the meanwhile, in July, August, in June, July, new batch was inducted. वो भी उसी साल में आ गया, तो ऐसे नहीं होगा. That would go into the next academic year. It is primarily for your results and examinations. This year onward, it will not happen because colleges have understood what is going wrong. और colleges का नुकसान भी बहुत हुआ है, especially for privately aided colleges. That the college term has become 18 months. So this is costing the organization. So now the organizations have become wise. This is what I feel. And this is how it should be taken. Any other question?
So one question is from Manoj Kumar Yadav.
Okay.
He's telling that please tell us the simplest way of collecting data individually so that it can be shared in one shot to the documenting committee.
Actually, may I request you, this needs 1.5 hours. This is one thing. We have we keep workshops for the of documentation for the organizations. It takes 1.5 hours. It's a workshop. It's an online workshop where the teacher is supposed to fill some forms the way we tell. That makes things very easy for the IQAC and also for the teachers. It also makes that documentation very accountable. I will request your colleges to conduct this workshop individually, because I don't have so much of time now to explain you how to do that. You will actually be able to work it out. I had just shown one form over here, but you can actually work it out. And the objective here is not to earn money by any chance. The objective here primarily is to make the organization better. So definitely you can communicate to me, or you can go on IQAC cluster website and you can get all the details over there. I am putting my number also over here. Just 1 minute. And you can communicate me and we can help you out, not an issue. We conduct these workshops on a regular basis for organizations. 1.5 घंटे का workshop होता है normally. I have put my number over here. That has gone to Geeta ji directly. I'm so sorry. So I will have to keep it to all the participants. To everyone in the meeting that I will put it. Yes, by the time you can give the next question.
Yes, Preeti?
No, ma'am, no questions from you.
Okay, sir, I see a question in the chat box from Advait, sir. For autonomous colleges, what is the period of NAAC visit?
Yes, that's a good question actually. One, if the college is a affiliated college, and let us say it has completed 4 years of its affiliation and now it has become an autonomous college. It can write to NAAC and saying that we were an affiliated college, these are our credentials, and now we are an autonomous college. उसके साथ लगने वाले necessary proofs आप दे दो. You will get an extension of another 4 years. This is at the time of inception. Okay, so you were initially a affiliated college. Now you have become an autonomous. I'd like to share one story. I'm on the committee of board of that particular college also. There is a college called Indira College in Pune. They had applied to NAAC. This is one thing. The NAAC, they had applied to NAAC in March, but उस समय ये lockdown शुरू हो गया. And in March itself, they also got a letter that now you are a autonomous college. So the college was in a fix. So they had approached me and they said, sir, how do we go ahead with this now? हमारा तो एक IIQA भर के हो गया, हमको AQR भरने के लिए orders आ गए, क्या करें? I said, you just don't worry. You write them with the necessary proof and tell them that we are an autonomous college now. From next year, we are going to become an autonomous college. Do you still want us to, or in the same year, we are an autonomous college now. Do you still want us to go for the process of accreditation? And in April, NAAC replied saying that because you are an autonomous college now, we give you an extension of 4 years. Effectively, 5 plus 4, 9 years उनको मिल गए. next NAAC के लिए. So primarily when you become an autonomous college, lot of changes come into the organizational structure. You have to create your own courses. You have to conduct those courses. You have various boards. You have BOS and many more things. So the organization needs time. So the duration then, otherwise it is 5 years only. Otherwise it is 5 years only, provided you are already a autonomous college. If you are not an autonomous college and you have become an autonomous college, whatever duration has gone, plus 4 years. But you have to take the sanction from them. This is what I wanted to make a mention. Yes. Constituent college, any difference? Yes, fine. Priya Pillai has made a mention of constituent college. Constituent colleges and affiliated colleges have the same process. Autonomous colleges have a different process.
Sir, Dr. Aparna Saraf wants to know more about student satisfaction survey.
Yeah. Student satisfaction survey plays a very important role. It has 60 marks. That's a lot of marks. There are 21 questions and they are very general questions. Keep in mind, it's a survey. There is a difference between a survey and a feedback. Feedbacks are specific. Surveys are general. And that is the reason why we take a feedback from an individual and we do a survey of a product in the market. Or when there are elections, we go for surveys. We don't take feedbacks. So surveys are very general questions. For example, how is the teaching in your organization? Now, how do I answer this question? The student says, I know Dr. Anita Goswamiji, she's an excellent teacher. I know Dr. Aparna Saraf, she's a very good teacher. But Piyush Pade is a very useless teacher. So, then in that case, is he going to focus on Piyush Pade or he is going to focus on the best teachers he has? So here the organization plays a very important role. You are not going to direct the students, but you need to see to it that the report does not go bad. I always make a mention, if you are to go for student satisfaction survey, you have to train your students at least 1 year in advance. एक और बात है, जो सर्वे आप वो देने वाले हैं आपको, वो सबको मिला हुआ है, but the student should not say कि I have gone through this survey, I have solved this survey previously also, so you are at a loss. So you need to see to it and you need to convince your students to see to it. Either the questions will be something like this, they will be very general questions, but while writing down the answers, while tick marking the answers, see to it that you think of the best teacher, you think of the best event, you think of whatever is the best and answer. If you don't tell this, he will think of the worst and that will cause the organization. There are colleges who have been badly hit by the student satisfaction survey. So you need to look into the satisfaction survey. The questionnaire is available, but when you look at that questionnaire, you'll understand that it's a very, very vague questionnaire. Second part is that what the student is answering and what you are answering is checked. For example, there is a mentoring system in the organization. ऐसा एक सवाल है student satisfaction survey में. How is the mentoring system in your organization? ये सवाल है organization. आपने लिख दिया बहुत बढ़िया सिस्टम है जी हमारे यहाँ पे 1:25 का रेशियो है, हर बच्चे को टीचर जवाब देता है, हर महीने में वो मिलता है, और वहां पे पूछा है कि whether there is a mentoring system and the student says yes, no mentoring system. They will believe the students and not you. So therefore, it is a cross check. Criteria 2 is checked by three parties. 1, the DVV party. 2, the peer team visit. And 3, the students. Therefore, it has 350 marks. And therefore, this student satisfaction survey counts. You have to see to it that things work in a very effective manner. You have to take student satisfaction survey very, very seriously and work on it at least 6 to 8 months before you are going to submit the report. When I was giving a presentation, I made a mention, know your stakeholders. That is what I have put up a statement in this particular presentation. Know your stakeholders means what? Know your students. If you have never talked to them, they are not going to talk good about you. So see to it that you have communicated them very effectively so that they don't cost the repute to they give repute to the organization, or else it will cost you dearly. Yes. Any other question?
So one more question is there for criteria 3 extension activity. What data is needed to put on the website also when activities are in collaboration with NCC and NSS together? How to take activity count?
Every NSS or NCC has to give a report at the end of the year. One. Second part is, for every activity, you have to prepare a document. Every activity that is done, for this so many NSS Karyakartas were present, so many volunteers were present, so many things were present. And you have to prepare that record quite clean. You have to do the record, the data. You have to create a notice. The students are invited. The students have come. Maybe this activity is taking place. Abhi Corona is going on, but otherwise, the bund building activities to take place. Our 15 students have gone to the university. Along with the university, they have gone there. The 15 students के नाम आ जाते हैं. उनके खत आते हैं कि I want to participate in this activity. You have a huge data with you. So preparing the reports, putting the photos is not an issue. ये दो बातें डाल सकते हो. And in case they ask for anything else, you can always give it. Yes.
I've sent the question.
Yeah, there's a question from Pratima Goyalji. Sir, we are to go in the PTV for March 2019, which is now postponed to July. As per the intimation, in this condition of pandemic, is it possible? Is it possible that they will come? Don't know. They may come, or again it will be postponed out. The visit will take place, but it may take time. We don't know. We have to wait. If it takes time, it takes time. That's the only way out.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes. You cannot guarantee they will come in July only. It will depend on the situation.
Right. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes, Pratima ji. Anything else?
Yes, sir. One more question is there about 2.1 extended profile and template. 2.1.1 asks average percentage of students enrollment, whether we have to take all FY, SY, TY students or only FY students.
If you refer to the SOP, you will get the clear answer. That's simple. You just go on the NAAC website, you go to the SOPs, you download the SOP, check out the SOP, you will get the answer.
Yes, sir. There is no more.
It is there, and therefore I am not answering it.
So there is no more questions now.
Okay, fine. Thank
Over
you.
to Ashwini ma'am.
Hello. Yeah.
Madam bola.
Yeah. Good evening. I'm here to welcome the governing council member of our Chembur Trombe Education Society, Mr. Shailesh Acharya. He had been, he was there in the meeting and he was listening to the lecture of also the question answer session. So I'm really thankful to him for joining and encouraging us. May I request him to speak a few words about, I mean, his opinion about when he attended. What is his opinion about the program? Mr. Shailesh Acharya, please. Hello, Shailesh ji.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, madam. The program is very nice, very informative. Sarana, धन्यवाद पीयूष Sarana.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
आणि
Thank you.
ने खूप माहितीपूर्ण आहे. Very informative. Everybody is well in getting informed, and we can see where we are lacking behind. सरांचा हा प्रोग्राम खूप युजफुल आहे आपल्याला. त्यामुळे all the good wishes to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. Thank you, Shailesh ji. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Lily madam. Hello.
Yes.
Principal Dr. D.K. Patil from Shiva University.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
आपण
yes,
आणि
sir.
पीयूष
From-
पाडे सरांनी अतिशय चांगलं असं व्याख्यान दिलं आणि अतिशय मौल्यवान असं मार्गदर्शन झालं. धन्यवाद.
Thank you so much, sir. I am just requesting all the members, over here who are not on our Telegram group, please join. I have put the link again. If you just click on the link, you will join the group immediately. And whichever and whatever doubts you have, you can keep on asking us over there. We'll be able to help you more with respect to NAAC, IQAC, quality, and more. It also keeps on getting a good number of brochures so that activities that are going on around, they can be, you keep on knowing them, what is going on all over the nation. Yes, please.
Sir, Pahade sir, as I could see from the remarks of our governing council member, Mr. Shailesh Acharya, that is, he is really very impressed, which is the normal case as far as you are concerned. And the IQAC of India is concerned. So we would definitely to have more such programs, because we have decided to have, periodically the program. So all of us get geared up. Again, whatever questions arise when you are doing the work, then that time that also queries can be resolved. So we would be in touch with you. Ashwini madam will be in touch with you, and we would request you to accept our invitation in future also.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And
so Ashwini madam?
Yes.
Yeah.
May I request Dr. Sudhakar More to propose the vote of thanks? More sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Bola sir.
Good evening, all of you. It is with sincere gratitude that I thank Mr. Piyush Padeji for sparing some time with us. Sir, we at NG Acharya and DK Marathi College are thankful to you for your valuable thoughts on gearing up for mandatory NAAC course. I would also like to thanks to Shailesh Acharya ji, GC member of CTS, for their continuous support for helping us to organize such events. Thanks to Dr. Vidya Gauri Lele, principal, our vice principals, and IQAC coordinator for their support and cooperation. We are thankful to all participants who come from various institutions across the India. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. There is a small announcement. I will be sending the presentation to madam, and also I will be putting this presentation on our Telegram group. So it's quite possible that those who have joined today and who are not in touch with this particular college, they can definitely go on the Telegram group. I have already given the link. You can, if you are already a part of Telegram, that's great. If you are not a part of Telegram, please join it. And I will be putting my presentation today evening. Once I make a PDF of it, I will be sharing it with you, and I also be sending the presentation to madam. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dhanyawad, sir. Thank you very much.
Dhanyawad. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Yes. Thank you. Thank you all participants. Please join for the next program. Thank you.